Hello indie game fan, we have a pretty good week of releases to kick off August, beginning with REDSHOT, a pixel art Metroidvania with bullet time that does look pretty impressive. I do think that it's a little visually busy with the amount of activity on screen, as well as how backgrounds blend into the foreground, but the action does look pretty good. PlateUp is another top-down co-op title which is very much like Overcooked, but it does have a roguelike structure with permanent upgrades, looking to be a clever twist. Rocket League, but as a racing game, pretty much describes turbo golf racing, where every player is attempting to get their ball into the hole, looking very chaotic and fun, but I do wonder what happens when you miss, where it does come to us from the developer of When Ski Lifts Go Wrong, which is a puzzle game that I love, making this of interest.
Here, we like to let our campers flex their personalities, because no two are alike. Whoa, watch that attitude, kiddo. Oh, and watch out for bears, too.
It is the waning days of summer, which makes it the perfect time for Camp Canyonwood, a summer camp management simulator where you need to keep the campers happy, all while there are sinister things lurking in the woods. I think it looks kind of cute, with an almost don't starve-like quality to this game, even having progression from season to season as you upgrade the campground.
Whatever happens here at Camp Canyonwood.
This is the BBC Live program, and here is the news.
Hey, come on, wake up! Things in the Antarctic, they've been a little strange recently.
Are you saying there's someone else here?
Search me. Why don't you take a look out?
If you enjoy narrative titles, you're in for a treat this week, with South of the Circle being of interest, an adventure game exploring the relationship between a researcher and his partner, of choices and sacrifices, all amid the backdrop of a political Cold War. The vintage screen print art style is very unique, where it is being published by 11-bit studios who have a good eye, so I'm pretty sure this will be good. No bigger games this week, so Smaller Games begins with City Limits, the latest relaxing city builder, but with pixel art instead of a low poly look, and should be pretty chill. Earth's Shadow is a sci-fi third-person action game that looks alright, so here's wishing the developers all the best for early access.
How do you know what to keep? And what to get rid of? There's some things that I can't let go.
Coincidentally, another narrative title of interest with a very similar art style to South of the Circle is Hindsight, one that instead uses physical objects and possessions to peek into the future and the past, where it is of course being published by Annapurna and looks like their style of game. Illuminaria is a base-building survival title where you're controlling little robots to gather resources and build defenses, all while exploring the world, looking to have some compelling systems. While I don't usually know what to make of visual novels, Love, Money, Rock and Roll caught my attention since this has long been in development, releasing a demo on Steam in 2017 with the full release being this week. It is set in 1980s Japan and promises not to be a typical visual novel, where this developer's previous work, the free-to-play Everlasting Summer from 2014, has an astounding 59,000 Steam reviews and a rating of overwhelmingly positive, so I'm interested to see how this game will do.
There was a time when we forgot who we are. We were ungrounded and destroyed our world in the name of greed. But now, We remember.
I thought that the concept of Retreat to Enen was interesting when I first came to know of it, where this is a first-person survival game without enemies, but instead has a focus on meditation of all things. This is actually part of the gameplay, where you need to take the time to sit, breathe, and think, showcasing the versatility of video games.
Nature.
There's not much more to add to Spellbook Demonslayers Prologue, since this is a demo of yet another Vampire Survivors-like game, but where you're playing as a Spellbook, so either the developers couldn't be bothered to create a character or very intentionally did so, since it doesn't really matter. After exploding in popularity with auto chess, Dota Underlords, and teamfight tactics, the auto battler genre is on somewhat of a decline, so kudos to the developer of Supernova Tactics for trying, where you are strategically placing and upgrading units without direct control of the action. The Adventures of Poppe is an 8-bit classic Vania title that looks pretty good, where you play as a small person fighting bugs and exploring the world, looking like it's for fans of the genre. Ascendance is a pixel art roguelike platformer where you play as a vampire, searching for a cure to a deadly allergy to the sun, looking pretty decent. Let's kick off the top 5 with Hard West 2, a turn-based tactics game set in the Weird West, where you and your supernatural posse are hunting down a ghost train. As with Weird West from earlier this year, the setting and characters should be a highlight, and if the first game is anything to go by, should have quite the variety and interesting skills and abilities. Do note, however, that this is from a different developer, but it's a good one for tactics fans. I know that a few of you are interested in Frogun, since this PS1 era looking 3D platformer looks neat, and I have to concur. Our heroine is exploring mystical ruins in search for her adventurer parents with the help of a handy-dandy frog gun, which can be used in a variety of ways to solve puzzles and platforming challenges. It does have the classic collectathon design with coins and emblems in this game, looking very retro indeed. Tactics fans will be interested in Venaris Tactics as well, a title that sure looks to be inspired by Final Fantasy Tactics in a high fantasy world. You play as a group of refugees fleeing their homeland after it was conquered by an enemy force, seeking safety and freedom, where there are enemies like goblins as well. The RPG system looks neat, although do note that the description indicates that this is a short experience, but I hope there's enough meat on the bones here. I previewed Giga Bash when looking forward to the games of the month, where this 3D arena brawler with giant monsters sure looks like fun. We're looking at footage of their Mayhem mode, which looks like a free-for-all smash 'em up, where there are 10 playable characters and 4 single-player story campaigns as well. Developer Agovic is an example of an indie developer doing things right, making smaller, cool and unique games that seem to be exactly what they want to make, with Gun Devil being their latest, being an action platformer that looks very fun. The story is as inane as the game looks. We're attempting to rescue your wife from Satan's child, the caramelized dumbass and his pimp legion, so you might know what to expect from the vibes, where I really love the look here, and for more of my favorites, watch this video and I will see you after the jump.